Real money trading, or RMT, in gaming isn't something new. I remember first hearing about this in elementary school, when kids started selling RuneScape accounts to each other. Buying and selling an ARK Survival Evolved, however, has spiraled completely out of control. When ARK was released in 2015, I don't think that even the developers had any clue the success it would have or the very particular audience it would attract. If you're in the gaming community, you might know somebody who plays ARK, and they probably have an absurd amount of hours in the game. We've all seen this meme floating around, and it's really accurate. The people who like the game don't play it, and the people who hate the game play it. I first started playing ARK in the end of 2017 and the beginning of 2018. I had no idea what I was doing, and I hopped on a random server. Quick enough, I started hearing about people selling mutated dinosaurs on eBay. I couldn't understand why people would be happy to pay real money for these virtual items, but real money trading in ARK would evolve into much, much more than that. ARK, and more specifically the official server network, attract a very particular type of player. The massive tribes in the game offer a sense of community to a lot of introverted people who generally have a hard time making connections. The servers that are up now haven't been wiped in over 5 years, and they won't be wiping until the game ends. Because of the amount of time the players put into it, a little bit of real money isn't going to worry them. Plus, it's nice for them to be able to buy items and bases to share with friends they've made in the game. At this point in ARK, the players that are still playing are probably averaging about 10,000 hours in the game, and that's on the low side for some. Now let's talk about how people are making crazy money in this game. We're going to be focusing on the small tribe servers because those are the ones I'm most familiar with, but I know for a fact this type of buying and selling happens everywhere within ARK. The buying and selling of base locations. There are a few spots within the game that are an insanely good spot to build your base. We're going to go over these three: the Center Pearl Cave, the Center Snow North Ice Cave, and the Genesis Lunar Cave. How much do you think people would be willing to buy a base spot in a video game for? $100 maybe? Here's the truth. I know for a fact, over the history of small tribes, base spots like this have been consistently sold for $5,000. Sound crazy? Yeah, it might, but this has happened tons of times over the past few years of these servers being up. But Vin, how do you know? Over my years of playing on small tribes, I've met lots of people and have even seen PayPal statements for the buying and selling of some of these locations. Now let's go over my personal experience of this. Before we start, I would like to say I do not endorse buying and selling things within ARK. Selling things within ARK is against the code of conduct and can get you banned. Please don't ban me, wildcard. On a couple different occasions, I joined tribes, played there for a while, and eventually the tribe owner wanted to sell the base spot. They were always great and let me take all my dinos and gear, so I didn't really mind. I never took any money from these sales, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense anyway because I would make a couple videos and make that much. It was simply that this was the owner's tribe and they can choose to do what they want with it. If you remember when I was playing in the Glowtail Cave on Aberration, I played there for about 6 months. Towards the end, the owner wanted to sell, and I didn't really mind because I needed a break from ARK anyway, and he ended up selling this particular base for $1,000. That base spot isn't that great, but it used to be pretty good, so people were happy to pay that much for it. I was also in a tribe as we were starting up on Genesis 2. I merged my tribe into a group from Brazil and Argentina, and after building up they said they wanted to sell, and they ended up getting $400 for this base. I know these aren't close to the $5,000 being offered for some of the better space spots, but it's still a lot of money for in-game base spots that can be wiped in a couple of hours. Now let's talk about buying of in-game items. This has absolutely gone insane in the past couple of years. Pretty much any ARK YouTube video you see now is going to have an item shop attached. Let's take a look at a couple. Alright, so let's hop in here. Okay, so first off, I just want to look at bases for sale. So a lot of times you can just like search for this and people will have the base locations that they're selling and like a little base tour to go along with it. Okay, so let's see what this guy has here. Let me just skip through this. All right, so he looks like he's on the Curtis base spot on Genesis 1. So this base, it's not the greatest. It's probably just like a starter base. You maybe could sell this for like $300, depending on how much like dinos he has. But it's just like an example. People just like openly sell their bases like this. Let's go to another one. Okay, where is this guy? I think this is on Lost Island. I'm not positive though. So this is looks like this is another pretty basic one, nothing too crazy. Oh, he has a lot of dinos though, looks like. So yeah, it is a lot of basic stuff. Maybe like a few $100s for this. He has a lot of manas right there. So another one that's for sale. Alright, boys, and this is something else I found. This is crazy, but it's real. I don't know like this personally, but it's happened a lot before. So $10,000 for the full wipe of this tribe. This has happened for an official. You might actually remember like a big ARK streamer got incited a couple years ago. I think it was for $5,000, which is crazy that people are really willing to put that money up, but grudges in this game are no joke. People are willing to spend big money for this. Okay, so this guy is selling what he calls defense services. Basically, if your base is getting raided, he'll come over with some aimbot and start killing all the guys that are attacking your base. And yeah, easy base defense. So this is pretty crazy, actually, that people are finding ways like this to make money. Definitely don't do this. Don't do this, but points for creativity. Alright, boys, so let's hop into some discords. So like this guy is selling mesh base locations. Looks like he has a few different maps, and then he has all these dinos for sale. Okay, so this is actually my Discord, and right at the top here I say trading for in-game only, no real money trading. Sometimes stuff leaks through, but I try to be careful about this, so you can kind of see the extent of what people are willing to sell. So most of these are in-game items on my Discord, but just like the amount of tames and items people have stored up is crazy. Okay, so this Discord, totally legit, set up really well. So he's selling mechs and a bunch of other stuff. You've probably seen some of the mech rushes on like official and small tribes lately. So you can buy a bunch of mechs for a couple $100s. You can buy all types of dinos. And here it looks like you can buy duplication services. So they'll come over and dupe stuff for you, like an entire slot cap like this. You can get a bunch of C4 or whatever for like $100 or sometimes less than that. Here we got tech rifles. So that's dang. Get a bunch of cap tech rifles for 30 bucks or whatever it is. So you can kind of see why people are willing to oh dang, dude, these blueprints are crazy. So they're selling these for $45 each. These are really OP flak blueprints that you see here. I'm betting these guys make a lot of money because this stuff they're selling is really good and people don't really want to work for it sometimes. I think the devs wonder sometimes why people put so much effort into cheats for ARK, and the answer is, once again, money. You can make insane money by selling a working ESP, aimbot, or even selling defense services. People have been running bots for years now and charging a monthly subscription that players are willing to pay. People essentially are running full software companies dedicated to creating cheats for ARK. So it's no surprise there are always new cheats emerging that are undetected. Between all these methods, and many I didn't mention, the underground market for ARK trading is insane. And I know some people that are even making full incomes just from buying and selling items on ARK. Once again, I just want to say I do not endorse the buying and selling of items. I simply made this video because I thought it would be interesting to talk about the kind of money that's being traded around and has been traded for the past few years on ARK. I know this definitely is a different video than I typically make, but hopefully you guys did enjoy the mini documentary. Let me know if you did in the comments, and we'll be back with more videos soon. Peace, my dudes.